Hello and welcome back to the fourth episode of the Clean Hour podcast. Hopefully you've been enjoying the first three episodes. So we've had vision and goal setting, the power of social media and paid ads. And then the last episode is all about understanding your ideal customer and competition. So yeah, episode 4 is all about branding and marketing strategy. So again, if you haven't listened to the first 3, please go back and listen. And thank you to everyone who has and has sent us feedback again. Matt, you all good? Ready for episode 4?
Yep. Ready to go, pal. Let's do it.
Cool. So episode 3 was all about knowing and finding out how to recognize your ideal customer. So this feeds on nicely to it. And some of the things that we mentioned in this episode will it might repeat a tiny bit from the last episode, but it's more, hopefully this one's more actionable. So now we know the audience. How can we brand ourselves and market ourselves to actually get them in as customers? So that's what this is all about today. Branding, Matt. I guess let's talk about what is a brand first of all, and why is it so important? Because we know in this industry, I always say like 90% of people just don't think about it, and they don't put their energy and effort into it, or even their finances into it, because they don't value it or maybe don't understand it. But why is a brand important for a business, first of all?
For me, I want my brand in my businesses. The minute people see it, they know what it is. And everywhere they see it, it brings them back to what I do. Do you know what I mean? So, Cotswold roof cleaning, it says what it does on the tin, doesn't it? Or it does what it says on the tin. It is literally, wherever those vans are, wherever that branding is, people know exactly what I do. Exactly. There's no guessing at all in that. In the logo, in the colour scheme, in the name, it literally nails it to the fence instantly. It doesn't matter if you're sat in traffic, doesn't matter if you're scrolling on social media. If you see us out and about, it's done. And I want to build. And this is, if you look at major players with major brands, right? And I'm never saying Cotswold Roof Cleaning is going to be a major player with a major brand, but iconically, you see a brand and you instantly know what it is. And I think the best example of that is McDonald's, the golden M, the golden arches. Why do they put it on a pole 50 feet in the air? Because you'll be driving along the motorway or driving through town and you'll see the golden M, and it's like a calling beacon.
Yeah,
it just says M. It's just a golden M. If you've, unless you've come from another planet, every kid is looking for the gold. Every car journey, every kid is looking for the golden M with a hope that their parents are going to swing in and get them a Happy Meal. That's the power of the golden arches. Yeah. And I'm not saying Cotswold Roof Cleaning is going to be that draw that everyone that sees us wants the roof cleaned. But if you build it with that in mind, then it can only be a positive, can't it? It can only be a positive.
Absolutely. Well, these, the M, right, and other companies do really well. We'll get onto a few in a minute. Let's talk about the Nike swoosh or, Gymshark logo. Maybe we'll go into that in a minute because that's really important. But these reputations, yes, they've got the image of the golden arch or the swoosh or something, but it's what they do in all aspects of the business. Because your brand, right? Why is a brand? It's your reputation, isn't it? It's perception. It's the consistency of your business. It's how people perceive you. And if you get it wrong from the start, that how people perceive you will be in the wrong way, potentially in the wrong way for your whole business journey, isn't it? So it's really important to get it right. And yeah, McDonald's, they're like a beacon, aren't they? Like quite often, like if you're on a motorway or something, or you're driving a long way and you see those arches, it's like, oh yeah, like a safe spot. It's like, oh, amazing, get some food here. So
you get excited,
they do it really well. We do. And we were saying, we were talking off camera then, Heinz, right? I don't know if you've seen their adverts of recent years. They don't even put Heinz on the advert anymore. It's just like it has to be, and then they put ... and they don't even show it because you know straight away that it's Apple. If Apple just put a picture of an actual apple, you'd know straight away that it's Apple, and it's perfect marketing. And But the problem is, I think, in this industry, this isn't a bashing session, and I respect anyone who's starting up a business and doing it, but so many of these businesses look the same, don't they? They're so generic, and I think it's an issue as why people don't stand out.
I guess it's quite grey, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's quite, everyone just blends in.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to win the race, and if you want to stand out, then you've got to be bold about it. And there's, the two young lads, and I'll name them because I think they're really good at what they do. Is it We Clean Property? The two lads from Kent? South?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you look at their van, they've done like the Simpson characters of themselves. You're not going to miss it, are you?
Yeah.
You're not, and We Clean Property. It is, they've got it absolutely nailed on. You know, for me, it's nailed on. You know, it's not going to be to everyone's cup of tea. There's going to be the old and bold that go, Simpsons characters, you know, it's a bit childish. No, it's nailed on. For me, that brand is absolutely nailed on. And they're not blending in. They're not grey. They're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but there is people out there that will see that, look forward to seeing the van and go, there they are again, because it draws people in. And you're right, your brand is your identity, innit?
It's all about standing out, I think. That's the hardest bit in this industry where there's so much competition. We've said before how many people are entering this industry. It's tough, and it's tougher than ever to stand out, so you have to be different. And there's some great businesses, I won't name any, but friends of mine and clients of mine and people we both know, but they're just very generic in their names and the logos. There seems to be, I don't know if one company's doing all of these logos, but they all just look so similar. My previous business, which was the wedding film and photo company, I went the same as you, like Cotswold. I wanted to go just straight up. You know exactly what it is. I went a different approach with my cleaning business. My business is called Clean Soul. So it's not exactly what you don't know necessarily what that is straight away. But I did it because I wanted to just stand out a bit. And people have commented, oh, Clean Soul, when they book me. Like, it's just something a bit different. So it goes against being in-your-face advertising, which I would usually be. But I just wanted to stand out because I thought all the names are so similar. It's so easy to get lost at the minute in the names because, ChatGPT, I don't know how people start this, but it seems to be what they use just to get going. And it's hard. Like you said, very bland.
It is. And I think if you can get traction at the start with your branding, it just massively helps, right? And if you have everything we've spoke about over the year, me and you, mate, is about building something for longevity, right? And if you get it right now with your brand from day one, then I can't tell you how powerful it can be. And I've done a video on my YouTube channel about getting it wrong. And I'll just a little quick side story. So my fire and security company, which is now branded William Hale Fire and Security, I owned Lollipop Facilities Management, and I branded, when I started my fire and security, I branded that Lollipop Fire and Security because I had this belief, and I've spoken about it before, that I wanted to build the biggest cleaning and maintenance company in the South, and then I was going to build the biggest fire and security company in the South. And I got it wrong. We built everything, we marketed it, we pushed it out. It was doing it wasn't doing okay. It was just paying the salary, right, of the people in it. Wasn't making any money. And I stuck with that for 3 years. And I think it was a bit through stubbornness, pig-headedness, ego, that I wouldn't change it. And then I changed it. And I changed it to William Hale Fire and Security. And all we did was change the brand. The website changed the name. We just changed the names and the domain name, but the website didn't change. The personnel didn't change. And it took off. And I think in the next 3 years, it went north of 500,000. And nothing had changed bar the name. The name and the brand. The brand had changed. Our ethos and our values hadn't changed, but the brand had changed. And overnight, people bought into it. And that's the power of a brand. You know, so sometimes you need to look at it. And sometimes we don't. What is it? I'm working with a gas engineer, plumbing and heating specialist now. He came to me, and the very first thing I said to him was, "You need to rebrand. You need to rebrand." I said, it just doesn't set the image you want to set. I said, it's awful. And he said, oh, do you think? I said, yeah. We've changed the whole branding of his company and the name and the identity. And guess what? He's flying. But he'd been going by that old name for 6, 7, 8 years. Just wasn't right. And we've changed it. So it's really important that you have a look at it. You've got to like it, but more importantly, your customers have to like it. They have to buy into that brand. If they don't buy into it, you can like it as much as you like. Your aim is to make profit and run a business, not because you like the branding. Don't worry about it.
And your branding will determine what customers you get. I think an easy example is, let's look at Ryanair versus Emirates, let's just say, or Qatar, someone like that. They both do the same job. They both go from A to B, but look at the name, the branding, everything about it. And I'm not saying it does attract different customers, because if I want a cheap flight to Dublin, or the quickest, like the cheapest, not the quickest, but the cheapest flight to wherever in Europe, I'm probably going Ryanair. If I want to go pure budget, save money. But then you look at the logos, the yellow, the blue, how, they haven't even got the safety manuals anymore. They're just like stuck on, the seats are uncomfortable. And then you look at Emirates, who they'll go to the same destinations, but comfy seats, luxury branding, airport lounges. And you can transfer that analogy to pressure washing, because you can do the same job as someone else, but if you're perceived to be more luxurious, better, more trusted, more reliable, then you're going to win. You're going to win the job. And that's what I don't think people think enough about that, because it's super important, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. And like I said, we said in the last episode, a lot of people just concentrate on price. They think just people want it cheap. They don't. They want that. I drive around in a bloody big pink van that stands out, and your branding, when it's parked on the driveways at these big houses, you can't miss it. You're not going to miss it. I talk about it. I'm the pink van man. I'm proud about the charities that we support, but also it's part of the branding. You're not going to miss that van. It just draws people in, and it's a conversation starter. Why you got a pink van? And then they see the charity on the bottom of it, and they go, "Oh right, okay, yeah, with you." It's all about the branding, innit? That's where it starts.
Do you remember we used to live in like a student heavy area. I don't know if you remember the Red Bull cars. Do you ever see them?
Yes, with the can on the roof, the minis. Yeah.
They used to be everywhere around our area where we lived. And a classic example, turned heads, conversation starter, and ultimately sold more products. And it's genius. Something simple, really simple. Okay, so let's go into let's take it back to cleaning businesses. Would you agree that most businesses look the same in terms of their logo and how they position themselves?
Yeah, I would say. And the other worry that I have, and I speak quite passionately about it, right, is everybody comes into this industry and wants to offer everything to everybody. And no one's prepared to go and take it niche and just offer one thing and set themselves out on such a pedestal with such a strong brand. I mean, look at window cleaners that just clean windows, right? Are flying. They don't go into gutter cleaning. They don't go into roof cleaning. They don't go into exterior cleaning. They just concentrate on window cleaning, right? Just window cleaning. And I could use us as an example with the roof cleaning. All we do is clean roofs. We are booked solid for the next 3.5 months with high ticket jobs, because once you become niche and your brand says that's all you do, where I look at everybody else around us, everyone is so-and-so's exterior cleaning, so-and-so's exterior cleaning, Clean Solutions exterior cleaning. It's all the same. They're all doing well and they're all busy, right? But it's just, you're just moulding into this one company. You look at all the websites, they all offer the same. You look at all the social media, it's all the same. Yeah. There's nobody standing out. Nobody's grabbing it and going, do you know what? All I'm going to do is clean drives. I ain't going to do anything else. I am going to become the UK's biggest franchise drive cleaning. And I'm going to call it, I don't know, UK Drive Refresh, whatever, right? And I'm going to build it here. I'm going to build it really big, and then I'm going to franchise it. And we are going to take over the UK solely cleaning drives. Nothing else. The opportunity is massive, but we take everything on. We buy all the tools for everything, and then we just look the same as everyone else, don't we?
Yeah.
We just look the same.
A controversial company, but I think you got to hand it to them, is Ben's Gutters. I think an example of what you just spoke about.
Yeah.
You know, I know they've had legal issues with their marketing, and people do slag them off a bit, but ultimately they are one of the biggest companies in the UK, aren't they? And the name, bang on, Ben's Gutters. Their marketing is really good, like it or you don't, legal or not, I don't know, but they've got it.
I think they're a £10 million turnover company.
Well, there you go.
I think that's where they're about 10 million. And and now they're going into roof cleaning.
Yeah.
They're going into roof cleaning, right?
They've built the foundations for it.
Correct. They've built a client base, and I've used Ben's Gutters. We missed a gutter, a 2-metre section of gutter in a job in Oxford. And it was cheaper to go back. It was cheaper to send someone else to go back than us to go back, right? So we test organised Ben's Gutters. And in all honesty, they were brilliant. They sent us a video of them getting out the van, finding the gutter, cleaning it, making sure the floor around it was all clean, all on video, and sent us an invoice. Brilliant. I can't knock them. I can't knock them. I know that they do get bad publicity, but you're right. The branding, the marketing is absolutely. What do they do? Gutters. Gutters. That's it. Gutters. It's simple, isn't it? It's Ben, and he cleans gutters.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Dead on.
Yeah.
Dead on.
Spot on.
So let's talk about positioning your business. So we mentioned this last episode is, I won't go into it again, but we want to target the wealthy, let's just say. That's what most people should be doing, really, if they want to be in this game a long time, or at least people with money who are willing not a race to the bottom. So let's talk about branding. Let's go. Let's talk about online first then. So there's lots of things that people can do online, aren't they? Everything you do online will position you somewhere in along with your competitors, right? So how good your website is, how active your socials are, do you have reviews? So let's go website at the minute to begin with, sorry. We both get lots of people contacting us and inquiring with us. The amount of I've seen the same website so many times, and it doesn't do the job, does it? People overcomplicate it. They just fill it with rubbish, awful graphics, and a website for me just needs to be really simple, clean, branding on point, bit of information about you, utilize video. You should always utilize video, and just make it easy for someone. What do you do, where you are, and can someone get in touch with you? But people overcomplicate the websites, don't they?
I think two really key things that have to be on a website for me every time. I've got 4 current websites, and when we build them, I say we, the royal we, there's 2 things that really, really, really are key for me. Great imagery, and the first thing you come across is the contact box. That's it. Because people don't want to be scrolling through pages to find how they contact you, because they lose interest. So ultimately, we're at the top, it says what you do. So it says Cotswold Roof Cleaning. We are a no water roof cleaning specialist. The next thing underneath it is the contact box. You scroll a bit further, it goes into imagery. That's it. I want them to go, this is who I want. Roof cleaning specialist, removes moss without water. Brilliant. How do I contact him? Oh, look, there's the box. That's it. If they then dive into the website, they then find more and more stuff. But instantly, that's what I want them to see. I look at websites every week for clients, right? Or potential clients. And I look at the websites and I'm hunting for a contact page. I'm having to go through pages to see how I'm going to contact them. And we've spoke about this over and over again. We need to take the friction out of the potential buyer's journey. Because if there is friction, they get bored, frustrated, and move on. That's it. They just move on. And whoever puts it in front of them on a plate and spoon feeds them, don't get the inquiry. And they're the two key essentials on. And I'm not a marketing. I don't ever. That's not my forte. But they're two things that I really, through tried and tested over 25 years, they are two things that are non-negotiable. Good imagery and a contact box instantly.
100%. And for me, you can improve that even more by, I'll always champion this, is video. So what you want basically is above the fold. So what you can see when you first land on the page, what's in the frame. Like you said, you want to know what you are, what you do. A contact us button. I mean, a call to action. If you don't have a call to action on the top of your page, what are you doing? Because how are people? You got to spoon feed people. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to fill out a form? Email you? What do you want from them? You have to tell them. But also, an easy way to break down the friction and to build trust is to put a little video of yourself. I'll always champion this. I've done it with every business I've had. Is a little video just introducing yourself, branded, just for the services you offer, and mention the call to action in your video. You sign off, click the button below to get into contact, call us on this number, whatever you want them to do. If you put that in a video, one, you're showing them how to get in touch with you. Two, you're building trust because they see you. You know, people by people, we know this. If there's 3 or 4 companies and one of them has a video talking and looks professional and is engaging, they're going to attract more leads and more clients because they just do. People buy from people. They're easy wins that you can put on your website. Yeah, you can do it with imagery. Of course you can. The imagery is great. But the more you can show your personality and build that trust above the fold with a call to action, with what you do, that's all you need. But people just overcomplicate it, or they just try and build it themselves, and it's awful. And it's your brochure, right? Isn't it? It's video. Your website is your brochure, and you haven't got long for people to click off it. If I was to buy, let's just take a luxury item like a roof clean. Let's change it to like a holiday or something of the same price, because you can get holidays for some of the prices of roof cleans. If you went on the website and it was an awful website and you couldn't contact them and it was just not correlating with what they were promising, you don't trust it and you click off it. And it's exactly the same for exterior cleaning. It has to correlate with your audience, and the trust has to be built, doesn't it?
100%. My biggest roof clean to date came through an organic lead from my website. She filled in the form. I went to see her 2-3 days later, and she signed up on the spot in her garden for £6,000 roof clean.
Wow.
Why? Because she loved the website. She loved the simplicity of it. She loved the reviews. She loved the imagery. And because I was not using water. And that just shows you the power of a good website. You know, and if you could work out how many people click on, well, you can, can't you? Because there is data to show that. How many people click on, how long they stay on for, and how long they go, you know. And you lose people in the first 3 seconds, don't you? They just vanish because it's just not what they want.
And also, you know, keeping on this subject a bit is how you brand your Google My Business. Very, very important. As important for me, possibly if not more than the website, because when someone types in, you know, roof cleaning in the Cotswolds or whatever they type in for any area, if you imagine you come up with your Google My Business, well, first of all, if it's not even there, if you don't come up on Google My Business and all your competitors do, what is the point? There's not even point of continuing because you're not even showing. But also when you have it, utilize this tool, man. It's free. And if you haven't got photos on there and your locations and information and contact us and updates and reviews, you're missing out. It's an easy way to brand yourself and position yourself in all these businesses. But again, people don't. I say to people, you got to Google My Business. Yeah. And I go on it, no update, not even a number on there, just nothing on there, no reviews, and it's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt you. So you have to brand your Google My Business properly.
And also, just following on from that, one of our biggest searched phrases for roof cleaning in the Cotswolds, right, is professional roof cleaners. Professional. That's one of the biggest searches in our area. Not roof cleaners, professional roof cleaners. So that goes back to everything we've ever spoke about, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's all about positioning. So like if you are a family business, for example, if you're a family cleaning business, which so I'm at the minute I'm training my my dad and my brother up to take the cleaning business from me, because I'm doing the agency. I can't do both really. Once they're up and running, you better believe that all my videos and my content is going to be about, we are a family business. We're a dad and two sons cleaning it, because you got to tell your story. And if that's not your story, if you're something else, whatever you want to be and how you want to position yourself, you have to drill it into people. And I can't remember the phrase, but it's like, I can't remember who said it, sorry. It's like, if you haven't annoyed anyone with your marketing by 10 a.m, you're not marketing enough. And that's always stuck with me. It's like, you have to shout from the rooftops about your business anywhere you can and tell your story, because if you don't, someone else will, and you'll get left behind.
And it's a very good point, that, right? Is people have this thing with their business, that we're a family-run business, and we're very proud of a family-run business, and we plaster it all over our website. Established 7 years, 20 years, 50 years. We're a family-run business, right? You then go through the website, you then go through the socials, and you can't find them. Yeah. You can't find them. They're not there. They're telling you that family's really important, and they build their values around the family, and it's a family business. There's nothing on them. You can't find who's the owner. No idea. Who works for you? No idea. So you're telling them in one hand and taking it away in the other. Yeah. If you're going to stand there and tell people you're a family-run business, then you need to be in front of the camera telling people, this is me, this is the family, this is what we do, this is me dog. That's a family-run business. Not, we're a family-run business, here's a picture of a driveway. Yeah. It doesn't work. You're sending two mixed messages. You're sending, it's not right.
Yeah, I think it's just work out what lane you want to be in, really, and it doesn't have to be family business. It can be whatever you want to be. I'm thinking of I'm sure they won't mind me saying, two lads who are doing really well with me, and I think they're joining you soon. They're two 19-year-olds who are absolutely crushing it at the minute. They're doing so well, and with their branding, or anyone who's young, it's very easy. Your brand, people might not trust you possibly because you're too young. For me, I'd be like leaning into it. It'd be all over. Look at us, we're up and coming entrepreneurs. We're 19. We're doing this, that, and the other, and people will buy into that story more. Whereas if you have no story and it's just bland generic, people won't buy into it. Even no matter what your story is, make it, show it, and tell your story, because you'll be so much more personal to people. And it's just, again, some people just don't think to do this, but it's an easy win. And you can put that story anywhere, your website, you Google My Business, and then ultimately what we're going to next is your social media. That is where you can really tell your story, isn't it?
I sent a video out this morning. I did a company analysis on a new up-and-coming snowboarding clothing wear company, right? And they asked me to do an analysis on his launches and his business. And then I sent him a video this morning. And the one thing he was missing was the origin story. That instantly, the brand's good. It's called Snow to Eskimo. Yeah, really good brand, really great products, but no origin story. Nothing about them. Nothing about how they're absolutely fanatical snowboarders. Nothing. And he messaged back and said, mate, 100%, you're on it, we'll change it. So people just miss it, don't they? They just miss the importance.
You've watched like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares? You ever watched any of that?
Yes, yeah, I love it.
That's a great example, isn't it? When he goes into a restaurant, it's like a local Italian family or something in New York, and the first thing he says is, let's get photos up of the family and let's tell the story, because it is with any people by people. A great example of this, I think, going back to the start a bit, is Gymshark.
Yes, yeah.
Founded in the Midlands, or Worcestershire, or one of them, I think. Blakedown, I think it is, where my auntie lives there. But that lad there, Ben, is it? He's a perfect example. His story is, everyone knows his story if you know Gymshark. He started it in his garage, and he just used to sew the clothes himself and made the brand. And how big is Jim? Wasn't he the youngest? It was a £1 billion company, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he's the youngest billionaire.
Yeah. And that is purely his story. He's built that himself. And look how people wear the Gymshark. I mean, I wear it. I don't know if you wear it, but so many people wear it because they feel connected somehow. Yeah. And he's done that all on his own through his story. And that is the perfect example. If you could picture a perfect example, it's Gymshark.
Yeah, I mean, Jim shot Ben. It's a great story, isn't it? It's a great... And I think I've watched some of his podcast and interviews, and he learnt business, I think, from his granddad. His granddad was in business, and he learnt all his values from his granddad. And then I think, am I right in saying he couldn't get the gym kit he wanted, so he started making his own.
Yeah.
And I think his logo was a quid or something, when it was something really stupid, but he really liked it, and that was it. And then, don't want to say never look back. He put sweat, tears and blood into it, and he's built, probably the fastest growing company in the world. And it's just brilliant. It's a great story. But his origin story, and there's people I speak to, right, that have got a really great story, but don't say it. Don't tell it. No one knows anything about them. And I just think you're missing that. You're missing that chance to connect on a personal level. People love it. People buy into it massively, but they just don't do it. They just don't use it, and it's a shame.
We bang on about this a lot. It's getting in front of the camera. Sorry if it sounds repetitive, but I'm not sorry, actually, because it's the biggest piece of advice you can get. If you get yourself in front of the camera on social media, that's an easy marketing strategy that you can do. Free, it's organic, and you can tick so many boxes. One, showing you're active to people. Two, building trust. But three, like you just said, you can show your story every single week. You can do a different video. Every single day you can do a different video and just tell your story. And that should be in everyone's marketing strategy, because it markets yourself, it gets you in front of eyeballs. Two, it builds a connection. And three, it's building your brand, which is what all this episode is all about. It's the easiest win. So yeah, we say it in every episode, but if you're not doing it, you have to do it. You really have to do it.
And just to follow on from that, the easiest and quickest brand to build, right, is your personal brand.
Yes.
I can't build Cotswold roof cleaning brand at the speed I can build my personal brand.
Yep.
I just can't. It's impossible. I think people understand the Pink Van and understand what we do, but I would say that the majority of sales come through me being in front of a camera. Yeah. All day long, every day. I turn up at properties, right? And I can see them looking out the window, and I can see people getting excited because they think they know me. Yeah. I've never met them in my life. Never spoke to them. We've done it all over email. I've gone to see them to give them a quote, and they are, I am, mate, all right, oh, watch all your videos. Oh, mate, it's great, your stuff. And I'm like that. It feels really, really, really weird, right? It feels really weird. And another side note from that, I was in Liverpool at the weekend at an army reunion. I was in a bar. Bar was packed. We went out to leave, and as I was walking past a group of lads stopped me and said, "Are you Matt?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Mate, I've been following you on social media." And I went, and I felt really, he was a really nice bloke, right? He said, "I was dying to come and say hello, but I didn't want him to. I messaged him, mate, you should have come and said hello. We're leaving now." His name was Matt, and he was from Kent, I believe, an exterior cleaner. And he said, "I follow everything you do." He said, "Thanks." I felt really weird, but that's your personal brand. Yeah. It's quicker to build than your company brand. You will build Joe Smith's personal brand quicker than you'll build exterior cleaning Swindon. You will. It's a fact. People buy into people. Build your personal brand on the side, 100%.
Yeah, it's people by people. That's the phrase to drill into. It's people by people. It's so easy. Yes, you should always build to sell, like we said before, as in your company. But yeah, your personal brand gets you there so much quicker. All my agency clients, I've not spent a penny on advertising, comes from YouTube and these kind of videos, and it's sincere. It's not manufactured. It's not fake stuff. None of your stuff's fake. I can tell anyone who's listening right now. Matt is Matt. But just showing your story, because most people don't, and it helps you stand out.
And you're right there about you haven't spent a penny on your marketing. I haven't spent a penny with the mentoring. Not a single penny. Need. Everything's just been getting in front of a camera and sharing stories and advice and tips. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. Everything else we pay for marketing, but the mentoring, and we get a steady flow of people coming through the doors every week. I haven't paid a penny on marketing because I'm in front of a camera. Yeah, there's going to be people that don't like me. I get that. And there's going to be people that leave, shitty comments on social media. I get that as well. Just delete them. Move on.
That's an important point. I think we spoke about this actually in Power of Social Media episode. We spoke about don't worry about how people think or how people react to you getting in front of the camera. You're going to get some negative comments. If you have 199 good comments and one bad, as humans, we focus on the bad, and might feel like a bit of a dickhead getting in front of the camera and talking, because you do it first, and it's really hard. But you'll be so thankful you did, and you just have to keep your head down and have your eyes on the prize. And your eyes on the prize ultimately is, I'm assuming, to make more money and to build a better life for you and your family. And if that means being uncomfortable for a few times in front of a camera, so be it. How much do you want it? Because look at the lads, we won't say any names, but you'll know the names in this industry who are big on YouTube or on socials. You spoke about 2 lads already in this episode. What's the common factor? And it's they're all in front of the camera. That's it. And that's how you do it.
Absolutely.
Not a secret.
And it's the quickest easy win. It's the quickest easy win, but people won't do it. They just won't do it. They just will not buy into it. And I keep banging my head against the wall with them, and they won't buy into it. They just don't buy into it. I spent, in all fairness, right? It takes a bit of time. I spent a year with a landscape gardener trying to get him in front of a camera, right? I mentored him for a year. Real nice lad, right? But no chance, absolute no chance. Fast forward 12 months of me banging on at him. He's now like an internet star. He's got himself a videographer. His landscaping business is absolutely flying. And I mean flying. Do you know why? Because at 8-9 months into the journey with me, he decided, I've just got to do this because he's not going to shut up. And it's changed the game. And he'll tell you himself now. He's still not 100% confident with it, but he's changed the game because it's authentic, it's real. You can see a little bit of nerves in it when he's talking, but I tell you what, he is knocking it out the park, and he's just gone in front of a camera. There you go. Branding, personal.
It's no secret, is it? Just
do
it.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a secret, and we shout it from the rooftops, don't we? We shout it from the rooftops and people just won't buy into it. But
you and I are not gatekeepers. We will tell everyone as it is, and we'll tell you what works for us and what doesn't work. And that is number one, what does work. So, yeah, man. Something else to talk about, I think, is tone of voice and messaging. How do you actually sound when you're speaking to people, be it on the phone or be it when you quote, if you send emails or texts. That's really important, isn't it? I think your wording's important as well. Let's just take an example. If 2 companies are advertising, someone says, professional exterior cleaning in Birmingham. And then let's take the second message, cheapest prices guaranteed in Birmingham. Same job, 2 very different messages. Why is tone and message important, do you think?
I think it's really important, and especially when you're because everybody speaks a different language, don't they? Everyone speaks a different value. You'll know if you think back yourself, right? You speak to your closest friends different than you'll speak to other friends.
Yeah, you have different personas.
And that's literally in your own circle. So it's exactly the same. When you go and speak to property owners that own multi-million pound houses, right? You instantly think that they've either built big businesses and they've made it in life. So you have to up your game. You can't be, you've got to be on what you're telling them, that they're going to be savvy. You've got to be right at it, and you've got to really get the value across to them. And then when you go and speak to somebody else and it might be a £100 gutter clean on an end terrace, you just say, hi, it's Matt. Come look at your gutters. Yeah, I can do these, £100. Okay, yeah, brilliant, we can do it. Yeah, I can do it next week. And your level of banter, people buy from people. So you change the way you speak to people. You always adapt to your audience. You have to adapt to your audience, and you may not know you're doing it, but you are. you're subconsciously adapting to that audience. And if you're not, then you need to be. And you need to understand that conversations that you have with a client, you may not be able to have with other clients. And understanding that really quickly. And using language that they would appreciate, you know what I mean? And understand that's really important as well. And you've got to be able to read the person, read where you are, look at the property you're stood at, and then address it for that audience. Address that the next 10, 15 minutes of the conversation to that audience, And that's it. It's, busy people don't want to spend 40 minutes with you. They're busy. If they're a busy businessman or woman, you tell them how great you are at cleaning a drive. They're not interested. Get to the value, get to the price, get out of there, let them get on with the day. They'll appreciate you more. Yeah. An older couple, retired couple, will probably appreciate you spending more time with them, walking around and telling them the process, showing them reviews or just whatever you do. So you've got to really get into that mindset of who you're speaking to at the time.
And be very aware of how you come across to everyone in general. I think, if you turn up to a multi-million pound property, if two people turn up, one turns up with a fag out his mouth going, all right, love, here to take a look at your roof. And one turns up, a uniform van, how's it going? I'm Matt from Cotswold Roof Cleaning, come to give you a roof cleaning quote. They're two very different approaches, but it will determine if you're going to get the quote, really. And I think just rocking up in an old tattered van, no unbranded, speaking like you're down the pub, like you said, you have to change how you speak depending on.
And I think with that as well, right, just a side note to that, not everybody can afford, a lovely van, a lovely wrap. Yeah. You might be cutting about in your car, right, to start off with. Your car might be... my very first car for window cleaning was an Escort Estate, right? It was battered. Yeah. I couldn't afford a roof rack, right? True story. I couldn't afford a roof rack. I put a piece of carpet on the roof and I laid the ladders on and tied it through the back windows. but I couldn't afford it. This was 2000 or 99, yeah. Right? I couldn't afford it. Money was tight. Life was hard. But you know what I used to do? I used to drive to these, and it was in an affluent area, right? This was in Wokingham, in just outside Reading, in Berkshire, right? And I would drive to these big houses, and I would park 500 metres away, right? And I'd walk down to the house, and they'd say, "Oh, you're not coming in your van?" I say, "Yeah, I've just been cleaning your neighbours just up the road, and I've left my van there to save fuel." And they go, "All right, brilliant." Instantly, right? Because I was embarrassed about my car, but instantly they thought, "Oh, well, he cleans another house on this road," and they didn't get to see the car was in. Yeah. And it allowed me to build my client base. Do you know what I mean? And I would pick and choose. I'd leave my car. Then when I got a van, I just got my name put on it, and then I was fine then. But I had to. So don't, not everybody's got everything on day one. But just think about it. If you go into a £1 million house and your van's rotten, or you're in a car, just park around the corner and walk to it. Yeah. Put a nice pair of jeans on or a nice pair of trainers or cargo pants. Make sure your boots are clean, polo shirt, brush your hair, and be polite. Yeah. Be in the moment. You don't have to turn up and leave your old banger. And don't be embarrassed. You can be embarrassed, but just think about how you're going to tackle it, right? And that will help you. That will help you. Until you get sorted and get some money behind you, you can't have everything from day one. So you've just got to be a bit savvy with what you're doing. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. We've all started somewhere in business, and everyone has to start somewhere. You can only work with what you've got, but these little tricks can fast track you. And it's interesting what you said that you don't have it from day one. I think a big thing with marketing and branding is most people quit too soon. They quit too easily in this game. To build a reputation and a brand, be it online or wherever, takes a lot of consistency and work and repetition. And let's just say you post on socials and you got no likes, you got no comments, you post on YouTube, no views. Doesn't mean people aren't watching. It just takes time. You can't build a massive brand really in one day, really. So consistency creates authority for sure. So just keep at it, because trust is built from repetition.
3 years it took me to get my first sale off YouTube.
There you go.
Actually, it took me 3 years to get my first inquiry, and we sold that inquiry. But 3 years of repeatedly putting videos on there that nobody liked, nobody commented, nobody did anything with, you know, and still that channel's only got 136 followers, and it's took 3 years to get them. But it took me but I didn't stop. And I still don't stop to this day. But getting that first roof clean through YouTube felt like winning the lottery. Bizarre, innit? Bizarre. It was a mad feeling. But you're right, consistency. It just wins the race, doesn't it?
You know, it also does as well. I think it brings in repeat work, which is big in this game. If you have that brand, and you know, would a customer remember you in a month? If they wouldn't remember you, then your branding probably isn't there, and your touch points aren't there. But if they will remember you, and someone down the pub or, you know, at a party, and someone, you know what, I really need my roof cleaning. Do you know anyone? They'll go, bam, Matt Cotswold roof cleaning. No, straight away. Here's his socials, here's his YouTube, because you've created that brand. Whereas if you don't do none of that, they'll go, oh, what's his name? I don't know. He didn't even introduce himself. Couldn't tell you. Didn't even have a logo on his van. No idea.
The way I explain it to clients is you need to set your brand of your company and your personal brand, that when you're not in the room, if someone says, what does Matt do? They go, he's Cotswold roof cleaning. That's it. Yeah. When you're not in a room, it's how people explain what you do. That's what's really important. If they say, oh, what does Joe do? And they go, oh God, what is it? I think I don't know, better cleaning a driveway or a gutter, or I don't really know. Yeah, a bit of a clean. It just cleans things. That's you've lost it.
Yeah, for sure.
You want them when you're not in the room. It's how other people explain what you do is really, really key.
I think a key thing there is to kind of come towards the end of this is to make everything consistent. So, for example, make sure how you are correlates with your information on your website and how you are on socials and how your van looks. It has to all correlate as like one system, because your website could say one thing, but if you rock up and you're completely different, or you know, you're projecting yourself as this luxury Cotswold roof cleaning business, and you rock up still in your Escort 20 years later, it's not going to work. People won't put two and two together. It has to all align and correlate, and when it does, you're flying then.
Well, it all comes back to the 7 touch points, doesn't it? Your 7 touch points for people to buy. They say that you need those 7 interactions before they make a purchase with you. Yeah. So wherever they see you, flyer, website, social media, YouTube, in a newspaper, side of your van, you know, it all looks the same. It builds that trust. Bang, then they buy.
It's the long game, and yeah, they might not buy for ages. They might just watch you silently, which is a lot of people do because they don't need you. But if they see you around, you're coming up as paid ads in their on their feed. They see your van driving around in the local area. You're coming up on algorithms on TikTok, but their drive isn't dirty. Guess what? In 18 months, when they go, oh fucking hell, my drive needs cleaning.
The last lady I interviewed last week in Swindon, she had followed me for over 2 years, right? For over 2 years, she had followed me because she had an eye on this house to buy, and she knew if she got to buy it, it needed the roof cleaning. And for 2 years, she's followed me, and she was beside herself when we went to clean it. Beside herself. Because she had followed me for that long to clean this roof for her. Brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Yeah.
I think the thing to just take away from this is, I've said it before, I've said it in all my videos, is marketer first, cleaner second. Your goal in your head should be, how can I get as many eyeballs on my business each day as possible? And how can I project myself to the world that's going to bring money back to me and bookings? That's the thing to think about. Don't worry too much about the cleaning. Yes, you got to do a good job. Yes, that's a given. That's not even up for debate. You have to be good at what you do. But your efforts should be, how do I look to the world, and how can I get myself in front of the world as quickly and efficiently as is possible?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. And it is, isn't it? You should never get tired of speaking about your own company. Yeah. Ever.
If you're embarrassed about your brand or you don't want to shout it, pack it in.
Sometimes your friends should get bored of you talking about it.
Yeah.
That's how it needs to be, that you are obsessed with it. You're obsessed, and every opportunity you get, speak to someone about it. Every opportunity, because it just spreads, doesn't it? It just spreads, yeah.
So, coming up to the end of the episode now, there's one question each. I actually haven't prepared one for you yet. But the one I've got in my head would be, what is your biggest annoyance in terms of how companies brand or market themselves in the exterior cleaning industry? What grinds your gears when you see it?
What grinds my gears when I see it? I'd say the lack of individuality. Nobody stands out.
Yeah.
There's only a handful stand out, and you can name them, can't you? You can name them. There is thousands and thousands in this industry, right? And only a handful that stand out. And I think that bothers me. I get my feed, because of the job we do, is full of everybody, right? Every platform. And it's just generic. It's just generic. Nobody stands out. And I think more people need to be more front running, take the bull by the horns and just stand out. I think that's what they need to do. I think that bothers me, that it doesn't have to be, but it is a very dull industry and people don't stand out. Yeah. That's my answer to that. Ready for your question?
I think so.
Right, here you go. What, if any, is your worst branding mistake?
Oh, worst branding mistake. In any business?
Any business, anything you've done. Even working for someone before you went self-employed, anything that you've seen that you think, yeah, that's not.
It's not so much a mistake. Actually, I think it is a mistake. Let's say when I first started in this industry, there's a phrase, right? If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I wanted to go quickly alone, right? So I did everything. So I made the colours, the logo, and all that kind of stuff. And I just did it all myself when I very first started. And I think I spoke to a few people, you being one of them, and Sam Alsop. He was kind to speak to me when I very first started. And you both pretty much said the same thing, whereas your branding's way off it. But to me, I was like, this is wicked. And when I came to you, in a constructive way, you tore it apart to help me. And I look back at it now and I think, what the bloody hell was that? What was I doing for 6 months? The colours, just everything about it is not how I had it in my head. In my head, it just didn't correlate with where I wanted to be in business. So the very start, but I didn't know. Yes, I had experience with growing brands and stuff, but to me, this industry was brand new. I knew nothing about cleaning, really. And my eyes were firmly opened.
And it is hard, isn't it? When you're building something you're so passionate about for you do get lost in it at times. And you think it's right. You think because you like it and you're so passionate about it that we just get lost in it. And everyone does that. Everyone gets lost in it.
I remember, and Sam's really good. Like, yeah, we speak a lot now. I remember Sam saying, he said, because I gave him a link to my website and we're on a call, and he said, I'd never dream of doing SEO on this page. That's what he said to me. And I said, why? He went, it's not professional. And as he said that, I looked at it and I went, fuck, it's not. It's not at all. What the hell is it? But now I like to think now it is. But yeah, had to happen. You have to have uncomfortable conversations, don't you?
Yes,
sometimes,
absolutely.
To get things moving.
Because you don't know what you don't know, do you?
Yes. And when we say these things, talking about companies that annoy us or logos being the same, this is never to have a go. Any of you out there who was starting a business, fair play to you, and we wish you all the best genuinely. But we want to try and just educate and help people, because sometimes you need to be told that your logo's shit or you're not doing the correct things on socials to make a change. That's what we want to do. We want to help people and make changes, for sure.
That's all it's about, is if we can just pass on a couple of tips and hints You know, I want everybody to be successful because there's enough work for everyone. So we can all be successful. The more successful everyone is, the better the world will be, won't it? You know, because everyone's earning a bit. If you're earning more, right, you can afford to spend more. If you earn more as an exterior cleaner, guess what? You're going to spend more. If you spend more in your local pub or your local suppliers or supermarket or you book a holiday, everybody is benefiting from it. So this is just trying to get everyone to earn as much as they can safely, professionally, build something that's going to last, because it feeds back into society, doesn't it? It feeds back in. You know, if I have a good week, I take my girlfriend and the kids out on a Friday night. We go and have a meal. We're going to have a few pints. So that local restaurant, pub, see, do you know what I mean? It just, everyone buys into it.
It's true.
So everyone wins. It's not just the exterior cleaner. Everybody wins, and that's what it's about. That's what this podcast for me is about, is sharing the knowledge and getting it out there.
Stop the gatekeeping and just share as much. And guess what? There's things that we don't know.
Oh, 100%.
We're always learning.
Yes, lovely,
this
isn't
is just
it?
our experience.
And that's the beauty of it, isn't it? That's the beauty of it. And especially when you get to speak, like me and you are in a lucky position, right? We get to speak with a lot of companies every week, right? Every week, a lot of companies. Whether it's on lives, whether it's on the podcasts, whether it's on our one-to-one calls, whatever we're doing. Somebody every week says something to me and I go, I like that. I really like that. I'll bank that because that's clever. Yeah. And it could be a little nugget, a little something of what they do, how they say something to someone, how they position it, and I go, I like that. And I've been in this game, you know, over 25 years, and I'm still learning, right? If I'm still learning after 25 years, newbies coming in and listening to what we've got to give people are going to absolutely eat this up. They're going to eat this up. And if you can learn after 25 years, this is for everyone, mate. This is for everyone. Don't think because you've been going 20 years, you know it all. Because I'm telling you now, we don't. We don't know it all. I'm learning stuff off newbies who have been in it a month, and I'm going, oh, I like that. I really like that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room?
Correct.
Cool, right, we're running out of time, but thank you very much for listening to episode 4. Yeah, episode 4. I think next episode is financial management, which is going to be a really interesting one. Cash flow, budgets, marketing spend. I'm assuming it's all that kind of stuff we're going to speak about. Yeah. So tune in for that. Listen back to the first few if you haven't already. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a review or a little 5-star review if you've enjoyed it. Any questions, message us or comment. Any podcast episode suggestions, let us know as well. Mate, thank you very much for joining us again.
Pleasure. Absolutely.
And we'll see you all on episode 5.
See you later.